good morning, evening, or afternoon, depending on what part of the globe you're on and what time zone you are in. I'm your host, Skeptically Speaking.
And I'm your co-host, Sweet Pea from across the pond.
And we're coming at you live and in living color. Thank you for tuning in and not tuning out. If you want more independent media in your life, please consider supporting the show. You can do that in one of three ways: Cash App, Venmo, or become a Patreon subscriber. Links are down in the description. How are you doing, Sweet Pea? Surviving this Satan's asshole.
Yes, I'm surviving that. It was absolutely boiling this morning, and now it's gone cold like it's winter, and I generally don't get it. I haven't long put clothes on the line, and now it looks like it's going to rain. This is Sod's Law. It always does this to me every time I think, oh, I know, I will put washing out on the line. Then, to lull me in a false sense of security, it looks nice and sunny.
Perfect
and then
timing.
It goes overcast. Yes, but that's not what I'm concerned about. My level of concern is the absolute tomfoolery that is going on with Trump at the moment. I did send you 2 screenshots of the sheer stupidness of what is going on. So Trump literally anyway, he literally put on Troll Sentinel. And yes, Troll Sentinel, because it's full of trolls. These are the real facts. Report them. At the president's Vietnam War, 19 years, 58,220 dead. Korean War, 3 years, 36,574 dead.
Oh, I'll share this graph.
Iraq War, 9 years, 4,600 dead. Afghanistan War, 20 years, 2,000 dead. Trump, Iran military conflict. No, it's a war. It is a war. It isn't you started a war, Trump. 4 months, 18 dead. And then in red, it's got 0 dead. Now, I have a serious problem with his maths. We know that Trump can't math. You know?
Well, see, okay, he's pivoting. He went from, we're not going to get into any new wars. He went from that, promising no new wars. Remember that shit? You know, no new wars. And then he's like, well, see, my war isn't as bad as all the others. You see? Promises made, promises kept.
When he's supposed to be the president of peace. I won't get you into any wars. Yeah, here we are.
Wait a minute. And since when? Since when were we at war with Venezuela?
No, exactly.
This guy is beyond the dumbest of the dumb.
There was no war with Venezuela. Trump swept in and kidnapped the president and first lady of Venezuela. Am I wrong? They went in and kidnapped them.
Yeah. This is who we got.
And then my second
country. Well done.
No, exactly. And then the second one I really do have a logistical problem with, that really made my eye twitch, that really made me want to slap the sort of stick of truth right into Trump's face. and this stupid Jake. Like, Trump put rigged election. This made me have a absolute mental breakdown. I'm still having a mental breakdown about it, to the fact that I can't cognitively speak properly. I cannot find the sort of words to comprehend how stupid this is. Right? You've got the graphic for this, I don't know. Right. So Jake Sherman put out on excrement. New Jersey Governor Mikey Sherrill. Last week, I learned that a serious software error in New Jersey motor vehicle system led to the registration of roughly 6,600 people who indicated that they were not US citizens between June 2023 and June 2024, almost 3 years prior to me taking office. These individuals answered no when asked on a keypad whether they were a US citizen, were applying for driver's licenses and identification cards, but through no fault of their own, the system registered them anyway. So I'm going to repeat the little top part. Registration for driver's licenses. Yes? Yeah, we got that now? Driver's licenses? Yeah? There's a glitch in the system, right? Not nobody's fault. Not these people's fault that the system glitched and decided, to put on their driver's license that they're US citizens. It's a glitch. But somehow, Trump is connected. The registration for a driver's license is somehow now election fraud. I need you to explain to me, like I am 5 years old, how Trump, the absolute dopey,
You can't explain it.
Stable genius, as he calls himself, has linked vehicle registration to voter fraud. That's like comparing apples and oranges together.
Apples and
even
hand grenades.
Yeah. And yes, some of them got ID cards that said they're a US citizen when they're not, but they're still not going to be registered in the electoral college or other electoral rolls. Can you make this make sense? I honestly do not understand how there's somebody in office that is less educated than a kindergarten child. Sorry, I will stop ranting, but your thoughts on that?
I don't know what to say to it. It's just beyond stupidity. So, they're going to do everything they can to put a thumb on the scale. They do not, they do not, they want less people able to participate. The less people participate, the more these fascists can stay in power. That's how it works. Here's another thing. AOC is warning us about the GOP attempt to sabotage mail-in votes. They're going after mail-in votes. Even though the president himself does mail-in voting, again, when they attack mail-in voting, that's where a lot a lot of Democrats use mail-in voting, and that's why they want to go
Mhm.
after it.
Oh, yeah. Trump is now trying to say that there was voter fraud in New Jersey and that they found a new number of 6,600 illegal registered voters. I'm sorry, but when are they going to give up? When are they going to give up these election lies? When are they going to stop spreading misinformation about so-called voter fraud when it is being proven time and time again, not only by Democrats, but by his own Republicans, that there was no voter fraud? When is he going to give up? And I've totally sidetracked us, but
That's okay. It's all right. We got a lot of things to talk about. We don't have time to go into all of them,
I
but
know we don't
we're
know.
just going to mention a few headlines. So crazy Laura Loomer, the MAGA Barbie, the one who looks like the Saw doll. I don't know if you've
Don't
ever
insult the
seen
saw doll.
Saw,
Don't.
the
Yeah,
one
do
on
not
the
insult the
tricycle.
saw doll. No, that doll will
So
never look.
ungrateful. Yeah, that's what she looks like. Guess what?
No,
She's no
no. no.
longer, Laura Loomer is no longer repeating Russian talking points. It looks like the money ran out. So guess where she's at right now? Or she was when I read this article. She's in Ukraine. What she's claiming is she's investigating all of the claims that she was spouting for years against Zelensky, against Ukraine, against this, that, and the third. She's going to do her own investigation to find out if any of them are true, and if they're not, then she's going to stop parroting these Russian talking points. Here's the dirty little secret. They already knew it was bullshit. What's happening is the Russian fund to pay these MAGA streamers like Tim Pool. We know for a fucking fact he was paid by Russia. Um, these people have been subsidized by shell companies that operate, they're Russian entities, and they've been sending money to super PACs, who then send this money somewhere else, who then send this money to these podcasters. It's just, I mean, it's clown car posse. So my guess is the money's drying up. So she doesn't. So yeah, so that's happening. Um, go ahead.
I'm just going to be a nuisance. Laura Loomer looks worse than the saw doll. Please don't insult the saw doll.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, she looks nasty. Ever since she went under the knife for Mar-a-Lago face, she looks like shit. Okay, update on the accidental drowning. So apparently, uh, these kids were jumping off a bridge, swimming in a pond or river, creek, whatever. And it seems that so the the black kid drowns. These moron white boys that were with him decide, "Oh no, we better take his phone, take his car, take his clothes and throw him up in a tree somewhere and let's get out of here," because no one would be able to figure out that they were together at some point. Literally took a accidental drowning and turned it into a crime scene. So the teen died of accidental drowning, autopsy finds amid charges of evidence tampering. So these kids are going to be charged criminally. And this is in
Good.
Texas. Wow. I'm amazed.
What they should have done is phone the police. If they couldn't help, they should have tried to help. And if they weren't able to help, they should have just called the paramedics and the police to come out. They shouldn't have tampered with anything.
Yeah, they were looking for him for 4 days before they found him. you know. So apparently, the Southwestern Institute of Forensic Sciences, they were in charge, uh, and they conduct for the Dallas County Medical Examiner.
Now, is
So
this
this is a
for
third party.
Danielle?
This is Daniel.
Is this for
Yes.
Danielle? Okay.
Yeah. So there was a 19-year-old kid and a 17-year-old that are, they're going to be charged for disposing Daniel Irving's belongings. My God.
Yes, because they deleted messages off Danielle's phone as well, didn't they?
Well, that's another thing. They went into his phone just like those fuck ass kids in Mississippi. Nolan Wells, they took his phone, deleted a bunch of shit. And I'm like, you morons. And I blame the parents. The parents, they need to be held responsible as well.
Do you know the best thing to do in an emergency? If you can't rescue the person yourself, you need to dial 911 and you need to get the proper, appropriate people out.
Yeah. And his mother is not, of course, she's not buying it because why should she, right? I mean, what have these white boys done to earn anybody's trust? So she says a reasonably minded person would know if you're not guilty of a crime, why would you throw away his phone, throw away his clothes, and not call his mother?
Exactly.
So they're going to be conducting their own investigation. This is just fuck ass racism clown car posse. I don't know what to call this shit. It's just this. Go ahead.
I hope that the truth comes out and they face the full extent of the law for whatever they've done to Daniel. It's disgusting. Yeah. He was 18 at the end of the day. He had his whole life ahead of him.
Yeah, both of these boys were 18.
Yeah.
And now, black parents are having this conversation. Look, we would rather you not be with any of these white kids. Don't be going to their parties. Don't be going over to their house. But definitely do not be the only black person there.
I was about to say, don't be alone.
Because they can't trust us. It's just fucking ridiculous, man. We can't even be counted on to do the basic fucking thing. It's unbelievable. So, I don't know. It's not getting any better, and these parents are just like, man, we can't keep doing this shit. I get it. Update. So Trump's borders are the fat face, fuck face Tom Homan, Mr. Slobbering, is promising more bloodshed if Democrats don't stop criticizing ICE agents. Here's one in the fields and the other wherever. Don't care. All you motherfuckers. No. Let's keep this graphic up for the entire show.
Okay.
Yeah. It's fine. It is what it is. Yeah, so the borders are, he's like, yeah, our brown shirts, our Hitler Youth are going to keep doing what they're doing. If you keep criticizing us, we're just going to kill more people, basically is what he's saying.
Is Trump
They
seriously?
keep attacking and miscommunicating what ICE does every day, calling them Nazis, comparing ICE to the Nazi regime. Are you kidding me? No, we're not
Because it
kidding.
is.
He says,
Innocent people have
ICE
been
agents
murdered.
are moms and dads too. Hey, Hitler Brown youth, the brown shirts, they had families too. Hey, the guys operating the gas chambers, they were parents, mothers, fathers, aunts, uncles. Oh, fuck off. And he says, "Oh, it's not just attacking the ICE agents, it's attacking spouses and children." Oh, yeah, poor kids. Your dad's a Nazi, kid. Sorry. You're just going to have to learn to accept that fact or you don't. But you can all go get fucked. You know, Renee Good, Alex Peretti, they had families too. And your agents acted like a bunch of thugs and savages and shot him in the face. He says, no one knows. I can't even get a quart of milk at the grocery store without a security detail. Why? Because I'm enforcing the laws of You're not enforcing shit. He says, it's pathetic and disgusting. Yeah, the fact that you are in any way associated with the federal government is pathetic and disgusting. Courts have ruled over 4,000 times that ICE jailed people illegally. You are not enforcing the laws of this country when you're jailing nuns walking on their way to church. I said if the hateful rhetoric didn't stop, there would be bloodshed, and I'm saying it right now. There will still be more bloodshed unless they shut their mouth and let ICE enforce the laws that they enacted. I'm sorry, ICE does not get to enact fuck all. Your slovenly, slobbering fucking face. Guess what? There's room at The Hague for you. Fucking piece of shit. So, yeah, Bordazar makes now he doesn't make a shocking statement. We're not shocked at this point. Shock is worn off. Anyway, we're going to get to the Israeli report. We're starting on page 15. So we read 13 through 14. Now we're going to pick it up on page 15, and I'm just going to read it straight through as I can. We're reading this so you don't have to, starting at page 15. This is the UN Israel report. Links will be in the description. The PDF file version of this report will also be in the description, so you can open it up, read along if you wish. So, with the last thing we read is about these murdering savages killing an entire family inside of a car, and then killing the girl last as she was on the phone dialing for help. All right, we're going to pick it up. On the 24th of February, 2024, the Israeli security forces reportedly told media that a preliminary investigation indicated its forces were not present near the vehicle. Yeah, the vehicle shot itself. I'm sorry, I just can't. The Israeli security forces also noted that given the absence of its forces in the area, there was no need for individual coordination of the movement of the PRCS ambulance. Yeah, they shot at the ambulance as well. And then they took a bulldozer. We read that on page 14. They took a bulldozer and just rammed it off the street against a wall, against a building. The Israeli secret forces reportedly added that the incident has been handed over to the General Staff Fact-Finding Assessment Mechanism, an Israeli military body responsible for investigating exceptional incidences during military operations. More than 2 years later, the commission is not aware of any investigation having been conducted. You can't make this stuff up, man. The commission found the claim of the Israeli security forces that its troops were not present near the vehicles or within firing range of the described vehicle in which the girl was found to be false. The commission reviewed satellite images, statements, and evacuation orders from the Israeli security services, based on which the commission has reasonable grounds to conclude that the vehicle of the Israeli security forces were present in the vicinity of the Fares gas station adjacent to the site of the incident. In one of the satellite images, the distance between the closest Israeli military tank and the Fares gas station, where the car was stationed, is estimated to be about 275 meters. These motherfuckers literally shot up a vehicle while it was at a gas station. I want you to remember that. These motherfuckers would have set that gas station up ablaze if they could. The commission concludes that the Israeli security forces, the 401st Brigade, under the 162nd Division, had been operating in the area during the relevant period and deliberately targeted the family in the car, including shooting Hind, Lion, and Layan and other children from close distance, despite knowing children were inside, and obstructed the medical rescue of Hind by shelling the PRCS ambulance. Killing of a 15-year-old boy holding white flag and his brother. On January 24th, 2024, at around 8:30 a.m., a family was preparing to evacuate from their ground floor apartment in a 7-story building at Al Amal, west of Khan Yunis. Following receipt of an evacuation order by the Israeli security services, the father noticed quadcopters hovering over the area and presence of Israeli security forces about 100 meters east of their house, instructing people to head west to Al Mawazi and Khan Yunis. His 15-year-old son stepped out of the house holding a white cloth when the father, who was inside the house, heard a gunshot from the eastern side where Israeli soldiers were located. The boy was hit in the left foot and fell on his face. As he attempted to stand, 2 more gunshots were fired within seconds from the same direction. One shot hit the boy in his back, another one in his left side of his neck. Seeing this, the boy's 20-year-old brother ran towards him and was also shot on the left side of his chest. He collapsed on top of his younger brother. The victim's mother waved her hands at the south side window to signal for an ambulance when Israeli Secret Services fired bullets which hit her too, slightly injuring her on her left hand. The father tried several times to pull away the bodies of both his sons, but every time he tried to advance towards them, the Israeli Secret Forces fired in his direction. He then left the neighborhood with the rest of his family. In early March 2024, he learned that 2 days after the incident, the ambulance arrived to retrieve his son's bodies. To date, the family is unaware of where the bodies are even buried. The commission assesses that the 15-year-old boy holding the white flag was shot by Israeli soldiers using a Dan .338 caliber bolt-action sniper rifle, commonly used by Israeli snipers, from a position located around 200 meters away. Given that sniper rifles used by the Israeli security forces normally have a precision accuracy range of more than 1,200 meters, the Israeli shooter should have been able to see that the target was a child and that he was holding a white flag. The additional 2 shots fired after the boy was hit were likely meant to ensure that he was dead. Well, of course it was. The additional killing of the boy's brother points to a deliberate effort by the Israeli security forces to target the boy as well as any other person that came to retrieve him. The commission could not find any indication of a threat towards the members of the Israeli security forces from the family's location. The commission finds that the Israeli security forces 98th Division were operating in the area at the time of the incident. A 10-day-old baby injured by quadcopter inside the tent. On the 12th of April, 2024, 1300 hours, A 10-day-old baby boy was shot by a quadcopter while being breastfed by his mother inside their tent in Nuseirat camp. The mother was alone in the tent, breastfeeding her baby, when a single bullet from the quadcopter hit the baby in the head and exited through the back of his head, hitting the pillow behind her. The baby survived but sustained brain injuries and now suffers from seizures. That was 2 years ago. These fucking Nazi monsters. Every last goddamn one of them. The commission viewed the analysis images of the bullet that hit the baby. The commission concluded on reasonable grounds that the bullet was fired from a sniper rifle mounted on a quadcopter. Considering that the shooting occurred in broad daylight, the commission concludes that the quadcopter controller would have been able to see inside the tent and assess the target was a mother and a baby. On the 24th of August, 2024, around 800 hours, a 4-year-old girl was hit by a bullet to her head while she was eating with her family in her tent. Khan Yunis, southern Gaza. No one else from the family was injured, only the girl. She was evacuated to Nasser Medical Complex in Khan Yunis, where she was intubated and underwent a craniotomy. Craniotomy. The girl survived the incident, but the left side of her body was paralyzed and she will likely suffer long-term damage. No shit. The commission viewed images of the bullet and determined that the bullet used was a 7.62 by 51 millimeter munitions. Since the girl was only one of the family in the tent who was shot, and testimonies of the doctor and parents indicate that they saw the quadcopter that shot the girl, the commission concludes on reasonable grounds that the girl was targeted by the quadcopter mounted with an assault rifle. The commission interviewed a total of 17 medical practitioners deployed to different hospitals in Gaza between the 7th of October 2023 and July 2025, who reported a consistent pattern of receiving children with single gunshot wounds, either by quadcopters or snipers. The killing of a child from a single gunshot wound indicates a high degree of precision in the use of force, suggesting that the shot was carefully aimed rather than incidental or the result of indiscriminate fire. In such cases, this pattern is indicative of deliberate targeting of the child victim, particularly when the circumstances do not point to crossfire or other conditions of hostilities. The doctors described treating a significant number of children who sustained bullet injuries in the upper part of the body with no shrapnel injuries as a result of small arm fire. A doctor who worked in the European Gaza hospital made a distinction between two kinds of wounds: small bullets with very small entry and exit wounds, making it hard to locate them in children's bodies. With the victims commonly exhibiting collapsed lungs, severed vessels and nerves, a high-velocity rifle bullet which left small entry but large exit wounds. In one example provided by the doctor, a boy arrived at the hospital with a gunshot wound to his head. The bullet entered near the boy's ear and exited through the jaw, which was completely destroyed. The boy was with his father, who was not injured at all, indicating that the child was likely targeted by a sniper. Doctors told the commission that they received children with injuries inflicted by quadcopters. One doctor estimated that within 2 weeks of her deployment in a hospital, she saw around 5 children shot by quadcopters. Quadcopters hover close to targets, enabling operators to see clearly using high-resolution camera with night vision capabilities, whom they are targeting before firing, which indicates deliberate targeting. Doctors provided the commission photos, videos, CT scans, x-rays for 17 children who had been shot. They were 8 boys, 8 girls, and 1 undetermined gender. ranging in age from 3 to 16-year-olds. The commission carried out independent forensic analysis in 15 of the 17 cases. The cases of 2 boys were not examined, in which case there were insufficient evidence to permit analysis, and in the other case, video evidence was sufficiently clear that the forensic analysis was deemed unnecessary, which confirmed that in 12 cases out of the 15, the wounds were consistent with a single gunshot. In one example, 2 16-year-old female cousins were brought into a hospital, each with a single shot fired to their heads. An accompanying family member told the treating doctor that the girls were shot by a quadcopter while they were attending a wedding ceremony in a tent in Khan Yunis, August 2024. The girls died shortly after arriving at the hospital. The doctor stated that the girls had distinguished swelling of eyes due to bullet injuries of the brain, leading to orbital evisceration. 2 independent forensic pathologists confirmed the cause of death. In a single example, a 14-year-old boy arrived dead at the Nasser Medical Complex in August 2024, with small pellets lodged in his chest and pelvis. According to the doctor, the small cube-shaped pellets created a tunneling-like effect, impacting multiple internal organs and causing cardiac tamponade and spraying out effect, which penetrated deep into the body and causing hemorrhage of the boy's internal organs. Independent forensic pathologists confirmed that the boy sustained a minimum of 10 lesions with square-shaped imprint or triangular entrance wound. This type of wound is atypical of non-round pellets with linear or sharp edges, but consistent with entrance wounds from a small caliber firearms projectile. They concluded that the boy likely died because of hypovolemic shock, hemorrhage, and pulmonary vascular injuries, owing to the pellets hitting major arteries in the body. The munition used appears to have been designed to cause severe internal damage and can result in superfluous injury or unnecessary suffering. The use of such ammunition is prohibited under customary international law and may amount to war crimes. I will go on a limb and say yes, it definitely does. The commission documented another case in which an 8-year-old boy arrived at the Al-Aqsa hospital with a single gunshot wound to his buttock. The boy's family told the doctor that on December 10th, 2024, the boy was shot while playing outside their dwelling in the Bareji refugee camp. The bullet hit his right buttock, went through his abdominal cavity, and remained in front center of the abdomen wall. The commission was informed that during the surgery, a 3-centimeter bullet was removed from the boy's abdomen. The commission assesses that the boy was hit by a .338 Lapua Magnum cartridge fired from a Dan .338 caliber Israeli sniper rifle. The commission finds that the Israeli Security Forces 99th Division was operating in the area at the time of the incident. The commission also received reports of additional 168 children, 98 boys, 53 girls, 17 unknown, age ranging from 10 weeks to 16 years, who suffered gunshot wounds between the 9th of November 2023 and the 16th of July 2025. Of the 168 children, at least 88 children were killed as a result of gunshots. At least 70 of the 168 were shot by quadcopters, and at least 20 were shot by snipers. Some of the children were shot by tank guns, and at least 73 children of the 168 children were shot in the head and 22 in the chest, and the rest sustained gunshot wounds to other parts of the body. Getting angry yet? Because I'll tell you what, if you ain't angry, you don't care. But I hope that we take this anger and channel it into getting civilly active. We need to be civically minded. Who's running for what office? What do they stand for? Who's paying them? Who's supporting them? Several doctors also told the commission that after May 2025, they treated children with gunshot wounds by snipers and quadcopters who were en route to or at the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation aid sites. Israeli soldiers have admitted to shooting unarmed Palestinians, including children, at GHF sites. A GHF truck driver who spent 7 weeks in Gaza recounted, around 1 a.m., there were a couple of teenagers just sprinting away. 2 Israeli soldiers ran after them, took 2 shots, and the 2 heads just snapped backwards and dropped. Obviously, fingers are light on the trigger. This is another soldier talking, by the way. Fingers are light on the trigger. It's called fingers are heavy on the trigger. A commission documented extensive reports, including by international organizations such as Médecins Sans Frontières, an international committee of the Red Cross, of children being shot at GHF sites. On July 22nd, 2025, a new segment of Israeli Channel 14 broadcast interviews with Israeli army personnel speaking about the capability of drones used by Israeli security forces' secret drone unit. The segment showcases several variants of quadcopters, demonstrating their high-resolution surveillance, night vision capabilities, including electro-optical and infrared sensor cameras, combining visible light and thermal imaging capabilities to provide continuous 24/7 situational awareness in various conditions. During the segment, officials of the Israeli security forces confirmed the use of a new generation of lethal weapons, referring to quadcopters in Gaza, adding that quadcopters have an advanced shooting system which allows precise strikes beyond visual range at a level of accuracy that no human sniper, no matter how skilled, can achieve. Officials of the Israeli security forces emphasized that a quadcopter does not hesitate, does not stop, and almost never makes mistakes. Basically saying quadcopters is equivalent to watching a video game. Inhumane fucking bastards. Yeah, it's just like watching a video game. Yeah. It's like Grand Theft Auto or Call of Duty. That's why, anyway, don't get me started on that. According to several reports, the specific unit of the Israeli security forces which operates these quadcopters is known as the Multi-Dimensional Unit, or Unit 888, or Rephaim Ghost Unit. Other less advanced versions of the quadcopter have been decentralized and distributed to Israeli soldiers at the lower unit levels. Breaking ranks inside Israel's war. This was a documentary. You know what? I am going to look that up. Because I think it's high time we start educating ourselves. I'm going to see if this is streaming anywhere. It's been BAFTA nominated. Okay. The truth about Gaza wars from Israeli soldiers. Hey, you know what? If it's free out there in the public, no one can say this knowledge was occulted from us. No one can say it was hidden. No one can say we were kept away from it. Oh, it's an Apple TV. I'll have to look that up. Lamest of the lames. Yeah, there's no excuse for ignorance at this point. So an Israeli soldier, he keeps going. The drones, in my opinion, are what most dehumanizes the other side. You see everything on a screen. You drop the bomb. It feels like a game. You can sit in some basement of a house, safe with your helmet off, scratching your balls, half dressed, and kill Palestinians. Well, yeah, because they're not shooting back at you. The commission notes that the quadcopters are controlled by human operators, with soldiers scanning and identifying a target and then remotely firing to hit the target. I hope, after all is said and done, that we identify these drone operators. Different attack drones have been developed and used in Gaza. Attack drones developed by the Elbit Systems, Birds of Prey, a sniper drone, Predator. Classy. The commission assesses that such quadcopters have been configured to carry a variety of ammunitions, including small bombs, small arms fire, and pellets. The Israeli security forces likely mounted shotguns and other assault rifles on quadcopters modified to use small pellets, which are traditionally made of lead, as well as steel and tungsten of different calibers. Some of the munitions appear to have been designed to behave in a singular manner to cluster munitions within a human body. Quadcopters, newly deployed by the Israeli security forces, fire small pellet munitions specifically designed for these weapons. Upon entering the body, the pellets fragment into submunitions, mimicking cluster munitions by damaging multiple organs. And they're firing them at children. This is our ally, folks. The albatross around America's neck. We created this monster. In addition to quadcopters, the commission has also found that the Israeli security forces use sniper rifles to target children in Gaza. The commission found that the Israeli snipers primarily use Dan 338 rifle, which is manufactured by the Israeli weapons industries, with a high precision range of up to 1,200 meters. The commission found that Palestinian children in Gaza have been explicitly depicted as terrorists by Israeli officials in their speeches, statements, and rhetoric in the Israeli Knesset, media, and social media. On October 9th, 2023, a member of Knesset said the deputy speaker of the Knesset, Nassim Vaturi, posted on social media, "Erase Gaza. Nothing else will satisfy us. It is not acceptable that we maintain a terrorist authority next to Israel. Do not leave a child there. Expel all the remaining ones at the end so that they will not have a resurrection. Gaza is full of terrorists, and every child born there is already a terrorist from the moment of his birth." October 16th, 2023, a member of the Knesset, Marav Ben Ari, contended in the parliament that there is no equality with Gaza children compared to Israeli children. Children in Gaza brought their own killing on themselves. In February 2024, Israeli National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir, a senior Israeli minister serving on several key committees, demanded that the Israeli security forces unapologetically shoot anyone who get close to the Gaza border, tweeting on his social media account, "No apologies and no hesitation. Anyone who approaches the fence and endangers the citizens of the state of Israel and our heroic soldiers must be shot." That's how it's done in every normal country. No, it's not. We must not return to the October 6th concept. His statement expressed Ben-Gvir's support for the Israeli security forces' open fire directive and constituted encouragement for Israeli soldiers to view anyone, including children, as legitimate targets. It indicated blank authority to the Israeli soldiers to shoot in the demarcation line area. In July 2024, Israeli Knesset member Amit Halevi stated that 300 Palestinian babies in the maternity ward of the besieged Al-Shifa hospital are all born terrorists. Yeah, and they want us to have sympathy for them when they get attacked. During a Knesset plenary session on May 9th, 2025, in response to Ahmad Tibi, a Knesset member and chair of the Ta'al Party, Michael Waldiger, Knesset member from the Religious Zionist Party, argued that military operations in Gaza must continue without restraint, declaring, "I cannot understand how this establishment does not shake when someone stands there, a member of the Knesset, and speaks ill of IDF soldiers. I was a member of the ethics committee here. We have determined repeatedly that IDF soldiers are above this argument and cannot be blamed." Yeah. Our terrorists have done nothing wrong. Our baby butchers, how dare you question their motives? What was done in Gaza, it's a shame that it did not get worse. There are no uninvolved. We saw what happened on October 7th. IDF soldiers are the purest good, and they do everything to protect human life in the state of Israel. They fight every enemy, including children. Sometimes there is no choice. It's a war. There are casualties in war. Yeah, they fight children, unarmed children. These psychopaths, man. Moshe Feilan, a far-right politician and former Likud member of the Israeli Knesset, in an interview with Israel's Channel 14, May 2025, he said, quote, "Every child, every baby in Gaza is an enemy. The enemy is not Hamas, and it is not Hamas's military wing." The enemy is not Hamas? Every child in Gaza is the enemy. We need to conquer Gaza and colonize it and not leave a single Gazan child there. There is no other victory. Several media reports in reputable Israeli media. I couldn't even get the word out because nothing involving Israeli media is reputable. Outlets point to directives issued by the Israeli security forces, which include intentionally targeting children. In December 2024, Haaretz included testimonies of Israeli soldiers admitting to turning killing into an internal competition, with each soldier competing with how many civilians they can kill and classifying their victims, including children, as terrorists. The article interviewed Israeli soldiers from the 252nd and 99th Division, which has been known to be operating in the ground of Gaza. An Israeli soldier from the 252nd Division admitted to shooting and killing an unarmed 16-year-old boy, after which the soldier was congratulated by his battalion commander. Shame on the U.S. press for not reporting on this. This should be front page news. Not some dumb, stupid shit Trump said. I hope they all get the plague. I just hope it just sweeps through. These fucking bastards. Murderous sons of bitches. In July 2025, Israeli news site Siha Mekomet published an article which included testimonies of 7 Israeli soldiers and officers reportedly confirming the Israeli security forces targeting of unarmed children and women by using drones to force them to leave their homes or to prevent them from returning home. One of the Israeli soldiers also confirmed that soldiers identified the targets remotely through drones and shot to kill. Another article in Haaretz in September 2025 recorded testimonies of Israeli soldiers, among them a sniper in the Nahal Brigade, who recounted shooting 50 to 60 bullets each day, killing many, including children. He explained that many times he was forced and threatened by battalion commander to shoot at the victims despite their age. So even the soldiers who have somewhat of a shred of conscience are being threatened by their battalion leaders and commanders. In the ITVX documentary Breaking Ranks Inside Israel's War, several Israeli soldiers who served in Gaza confirmed that they shot at unarmed Palestinians, including children, without any restraint. As one soldier said, quote, "The first shot is directly to the head." One soldier recounted seeing children getting shot in their heads and said, "We saw two teenagers pushing some sort of cart, and the first shot was directly to the head." Other Israeli soldiers narrated, in accordance with Israel Army training, a soldier can fire only if the target has the means, shows intent, and has the ability to cause harm. But in Gaza, Israeli soldiers do not adhere to such a directive. In Gaza, decisions are not determined by procedure or opening fire regulations, but rather the appreciation of the commander on the ground. Soldiers also stated that they do not worry about international law in Gaza, as they believe they will be shielded from prosecution. And the truth is, they're right. The Israeli security forces appear to have been influenced by rhetoric of Israeli politicians and officials portraying all Palestinians as legitimate targets, a mindset that has filtered through the Israeli army ranks. The commission notes a broad pattern of a permissive military culture in which Israeli soldiers are encouraged to directly target Palestinian children with or without directives from superior commanders. Killing and maiming children by the Israeli security forces in the West Bank, including East Jerusalem. Quote, "We back our soldiers at any cost, regardless of the outcome. In Jenin, there are no innocent children. Those who were born in 2006 during the expulsion of Gush Katif are the Nakba of 2026 on the 7th of October. I have no, even for a little, any sense of compassion for my enemies." Israeli security forces killed 213 Palestinian children, 206 boys, 7 girls in the West Bank, including East Jerusalem, between October 7th, 2023 and October 20th, 2025. The majority of these killings took place in the context of Israeli military operations in Jenin, Tulkarem, Tabas, Nablus, despite the absence of general hostilities. The commission assesses that the high number of boys killed reflects a policy of targeting boys due to their perceived threat as terrorists or future terrorists. Yeah, we just shoot children because, hey, they might turn into a future terrorists. The commission finds that the Palestinian boys are systematically targeted by the Israeli security forces as a distinct group, reflecting a gendered security framing that links Palestinian male identity, even as children, with threat. Targeting of Palestinian boys by Israeli security forces reflects the intersection of age and gender within the Israel's military operational and targeting practices. Palestinian girls are not safe. They're not safe either, as they are largely killed and injured even inside homes, underscoring that there is no safe space for Israeli children. Operation Summer Camp. That's what they called it. Operation Summer Camp, initiated on August 28th, 2024, and continuing, has been the largest Israeli military operation in northern West Bank in over 2 decades. It has included the use of airstrikes in densely populated areas, similar to the bombing campaign of Gaza since October 2023. In January 2025, the Israeli security forces launched another large-scale military operation called Iron Wall in Jenin, which spread across other areas of the West Bank just days after the implementation of the second pause in fighting. According to the OHCHR, between January and mid-October, the Israeli security forces killed 40 children in the West Bank, accounting for 1 in every 5 Palestinians killed, 40 children out of 198 Palestinians killed. OCHA reported that 29% of all casualties in the West Bank between January 1st, 2024 and August 31st, 2025 were caused by airstrikes, including drones. On September 2024, at around 1700, the Israeli security forces, including undercover operatives from the Duvdevin unit, carried out an arrest operation in the village of Anza, south of Jenin. At the same time, a large group of girls and women were gathered at a house situated around 120 meters away to mourn the death of a family member earlier that day. The girls and women were sitting in silence in the courtyard, while younger children played in front of them. Without any warning, Israeli soldiers fired live ammunition from the suspect's home in the direction of the girls and the women in the courtyard. The fire was intense and indiscriminate, lasting intermittently for about 15 minutes. As a result, 2 girls, 9-year-old and 15-year-old, and a 77-year-old woman were wounded, and a 34-year-old woman was killed. The victims were unarmed and did not do anything that could have been perceived as a threat. The commission is not aware of any reports anyone else being killed or injured during the firing. And we're going to stop it right there. So we made it to page 21. Yeah, it's tough talking about the murders. It's like they just don't stop, do they? Well, thank you so much for tuning in and not tuning out. We thank you so much for you joining us. If you liked what you heard and you want more independent media in your life, please consider supporting the show. Cash App, Venmo, or become a patron subscriber. We'd love to have you. We'd love to have your patronage. We'd like to do this full time and not just in our spare time. And with that, we'll sign off. Thank you so much.
Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. We appreciate your support and thank you for sticking around for this tough show. We will catch you all on the flip side, and we hope you all have a lovely Wednesday.
Yes, indeed. Take care, everybody.
Wake up, grab a brush and put a little makeup.